For a lot of the thrown interactables, you can actually throw them and then hold down to throw them a little bit downward. I think there's a base over here. We can throw it.
Let's take a look at that on the screen, huh?
Oh.
Make me human.
Make me human.
There we go.
Yeah, so like if somebody's like about that distance and ducking down, trying to low profile, you can throw it interactable and actually hold down to change the arc in it to be a little lower, and that affects different throw interactables in different ways.
So it doesn't make it a low, but it makes it so you don't.
Yeah, it makes it where it's like a lot of times you would throw them in this general arc and people could come in and low profile them. Now you can choose to throw them lower and it'll make it harder for somebody to duck underneath it, but then it also won't go full screen because it's going to go downward and hit the ground.
Gotcha.
And this applies to special move style interactables. That applies to the Ice Clone and Tremor's Rock Summon in Variation 3.
A lot of the interactables that had grabs in them, like similar to this one, like if he's sitting here blocking, this thing's an actual real throw attack. So you can't block that, and it'll actually, you can use it inside of combos and stuff. And that affects all the ones that have these kind of grab and dash together.
That's cool.
Another thing that's slightly harder to notice, but like if Kenshi does his attack 2, or a high attack, and I actually whip punish it, some of the sparks will be red instead of white. It's a little harder to see with Slasher Jason because the blood's on top of it, but that is something that's a general change where a lot of times the hit sparks will be red on an actual counter hit.
And that applies to block punishes as well. So if you block Sub-Zero's slide and then you do a quick attack to punish it, the hit sparks will be red.
So you'll know when you're punishing by the spark color, which will help people who maybe are learning how to punish in training mode too.
Another small general change is at the end of a round, if you kill somebody with a throw and then meter burn it, your combo will actually get extended only at the end of the match, and that'll let you perform a lot of the grounded brutalities in an actual combo. So you can actually let people do a lot of longer swag combos to finish somebody and then end it up with a different brutality. So there'll be
awesome.
New brutality combos you can show off with them.
Yeah, so like you could do something like go into a combo, launch them up in the air, do a meter burn throw, and then continue to do like a combo string into whatever triggers the brutality, maybe a command grab or whatever, and then it'll go into the brutality. Like it's one long combo.
So you created something in a patch to make the game more swaggy.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
That's awesome.
I'm not arguing that. Okay. So do we want to start? That's sort of the general notes for just general gameplay.
Yeah, general gameplay.
There's a couple more things. In the beta, there was a change where command grabs would combo on hit. That in the full game, that will be EX moves only, with a few exceptions that we'll go over.
Yeah, that was more of just a general system change to be able to allow that to happen. But now certain moves like Jason's Spear Hug, the enhanced version of it will actually connect on hit or block. And then some other normal moves like Kung Lao's teleport grab, that one will also connect on hit or block.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go with those as we go over the actual characters.
Anything else? Did you have anything else with that, Steve?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Well, and a lot of people, we've talked on Twitter, people love playing Jason.
They do.
They thought he might need a little love.
Yes.
I've seen the word buff in Jason a lot.
Did we buff Jason?
A little bit.
A little bit, same bit.
So I guess we'll start with Variation 1 Slasher. His back one was sped up a little bit and the hitbox was increased. You can see it can hit, it's like a 9-frame move now, and it can hit from pretty far back.
Yeah, it'll make it harder to low profile that thing. Some people are actually able to low profile it. It'll also give you a way to fight back against people that are. It's a faster poke. It's a way faster poke.
The machete toss also has shaved off some recovery, both the regular and EX, which will help him in zoning. And it's already a really damaging projectile, so now it recovers a little bit faster.
Yeah, but it's not like crazy off faster. It's a few frames shaved off.
Yeah. As well as across the board, a lot of his down moves, his uppercut, his down 1 and his down 4 are all quite a bit faster. I think that's it for Slasher, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was general hitbox improvements all over the place for a lot of characters.
Yeah.
But Slasher got a decent amount.
Yeah, his down 1 is faster, his uppercut is significantly faster, his down 4 got sped up, and that'll again help him, like Paulo said, against people that kind of around the mid-range, low profile him really easily. Then in the other two, his back 1-2-2 reaction changed a little bit. It's easier for him to combo. He doesn't have to use stamina anymore. He doesn't have to do a quick run. It's true. Even you can do those combos now.
I don't believe
Oh man, I wanted to play Jason so bad, but I can't do run combos.
Well, you don't have to do the run anymore.
I can just do that?
Yeah, you can just do that.
Can I whip the
because of that,
throw
they have
gun?
some different combos you can do now,
Right.
where you can do that move, actually run up a little bit, duck up, and do a neutral jump punch. So there are harder combos you can do now, as opposed to just the basic one.
I'm good.
His bear hug has a really cool change in EX. He can actually control which way he's throwing them. So if you're cornered, you can hold forward, and it'll keep them cornered. Before, Jason kind of had a flaw where his up-close game is pretty good with the command grab, but he would ultimately throw them away from the corner. Now you don't have to worry about that. That's EX only, but that's really strong. He has a buff. In Relentless, the more damage he takes, the better damage he does. That was slightly increased across the board, like at 40%. What are the numbers? 40, 30?
We'll have patch notes
Right.
some point this weekend, and those will list the actual numbers. But yeah, it was increased off the board with the amount of damage that he does, depending on the thresholds, how much life he has left.
The reaction on 444 was changed to have them pop up a little bit closer to him. So he can do pretty simple combos like choke, or even go into a command grab if he wants to do that. So that helps. Before, he was always knocked far away, and he can only do a combo in the corner. So that'll help him up close for sure.
I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. And then his back three was increased. The hitbox of it was increased a little bit. And he has new extensions from it. Before, he only had the grab. And first off, the grab now will connect against a blocking opponent. So you can use it as like an automatic tick throw. And that's one of the exceptions we talked about. On hit, it'll combo still. And on block, it'll still work. And then he has two new extensions. He has down one, which is a quick overhead, and up one, which is a pop-up. So he can, again, that's another move he can use in that mid-range to beat people that are doing low pokes to try to keep him out.
I'm considering going back to Jason.
And
So
another
this will
one.
be your 30th new
Yeah, this is me.
Yeah.
or is it an old main, new main thing?
New main.
Oh, no, it's an old main, new main.
Old main, new main. You're right. I played him for a week.
Yes, he did.
Then his 4-3 big leg is now a little bit more advantage on block, and that's something that's kind of across the board on kind of big boot, big leg style moves that we'll be going back to, but he's the first one we're talking about that has that. And I think that's it for Relentless.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, that's good. So then Unstoppable, we did a few things with his buffs.
Oh, do tell more.
I've dealt with this a lot.
Yes, the damage buff and the healing buff both last longer, and they do a little bit more. The damage buff now will actually break armor. So if Kenshi does an armor attack, I will let you actually do the armor attack. Yeah, you'll see. It'll actually break the armor, and then you get a big combo. And the healing one will actually build him super meter while it's active. He gets health and super meter. I would say if you let the whole thing go, he gets maybe 25% of a bar or so. The EX one does not build a bar since you have to use a bar, but he gets a decent amount more health. He gets plus 30 every tick instead of, I think it's plus 25 normally. So you can choose to use a bar to get a pretty decent amount of more health, or you can stick with the regular and get bar and health. Or you can even use the regular, get a little bit health, a little bit bar, to then do EX to get even more health.
Gotcha.
I think that's it for Jason.
Now, just a general note about today's show. We probably won't say every single thing that's involved in some of these characters. We'll be patch notes. They're pretty lengthy. We're going to try to get them out early next week. We'll get them to you. But, keep in mind there'll be other small, frame stuff that, you'll be able to read about your favorite character that might not be enough to talk about now.
Yeah, there's also some bug fixes that we're not going to mention here that got fixed. There are more bug fixes than gameplay fixes, but they can have an effect on gameplay that you guys can check out later.
Yeah, and a lot of that goes into the new enhanced online, because a lot of the back end of the game and a lot of the characters that essentially be recoded to work with the rollback system. Mm-hmm. So because of that, we went and fixed some general fixes here and there, and some moves slightly behave differently because they were recoded for the new
Gotcha.
rollback code.
Well, we got Kenshi on the screen.
What's Kenshi got?
Can't you get anything?
He got maybe a couple of things.
He's got faster pokes overall, so his down one is a 7 frame down one now. Same thing with his down 3 and his down 4, so you can fight back a little bit better. He has better recovery on hit and block on a lot of his normals, so there's some strings are actually staggered now. Like this one, will actually hit a little bit faster, and it'll be like safer on block than it was before. So that'll let you play like in neutral a little bit more, like Kenshi.
Yeah, his forward 3 is better on block and is much faster.
Or
forward 4, I mean.
Changing possessed is after you teleport. Before you could only do a straight jump attack from it. Well, now you can actually choose to like hold towards and do a normal jump punch, which will let you do into a string, or same thing with the jump kick. So you can change your hitbox a little bit and change your trajectory and like trick people up with and you can actually do combos on block into this, into a string, into teleport again, and keep the mix up going.
Cool.
Yeah, and he got a couple of new moves in possessed and balanced. He now has 4-2-1-1 and 4-2-1-4.
Which will let you punish like stuff from about outside of sweep distance. If somebody does a sweep and whips, you can do that and then go into a special move combo.
Or you could use it for pressure on block, like you could end it early and then go for a throw or something like that, or go for a special move if you want to take a risk. But it's another tool to help him in the mid-range game, so he doesn't have to just rely on his special moves.
The Atusu string that he had, where it would swap the guy to your side, you can actually meter burn this string, and then when you do, it'll reset any one of his normal strings. So you can do like 2-2 this, and then go into a string that'll actually combo. So that'll let you do stuff where if you like catch somebody with like a juggle with this, you can then meter burn it. And then from there, continue combos, and it'll let you convert like hit confirms off of a lot of things that you couldn't before. So it'll raise his damage a little bit, especially on like punishes and random hit confirms.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple others. In Kenjutsu, his back 2, which is his leaping sword overhead, that's now safe. His 2-1-1, 2+4 is now a pop-up. He gets a combo without having to use a bar of meter. And then his sword reflect now can actually parry normal attacks.
You gotta switch me to...
Oh yeah, you're possessed. Okay, yeah, it acts similar to Kotal's parry thing. Like it can absorb normal attacks, and then
yeah, and whenever you do, it doesn't actually give you like much advantage except for just recovery. But whenever you do successfully parry something, you can then cancel into any other special move, including another parry. So if you know two attacks are coming, you can actually double parry those and then cancel that into like the right karma, and then combo from there. So that'll let him actually punish some moves that aren't normally punishable by other characters by reading it on a parry and then be able to punish from there. It'll also let you be able to, on wake up, essentially do a parry if the move's slow enough, and then be able to punish stuff where you wouldn't normally be able to before.
Cool.
And there's slight damage increases. In Possessed, his shoulder charge now does 8% instead of 5. Those are the kind of things that you can look for in the patch notes.
Awesome. Let's go to the. You want to go to the character select screen and just kind of talk about some people, and then get into another little match. We're not going to show you every character. We're going to go through the screen and just talk about a few, and so on. So let's go to the. We'll skip the new alien, of course. Kung Lao. What can we say about Kung Lao?
Kung Lao had a few changes. His jump 2 hitbox has been slightly adjusted to not hit quite as far. His variation 1, EX Orbiting Hat, has more advantage on hit, but less advantage on block. So what that means is if you hit the move, it's easier to do combos and you'll get bigger combos. But on block, the block advantage is not quite as much as it was before. It's still advantage on block, but it's not like double digits advantage.
Yeah, there'll actually be some new combos you can do where like if you land a grounded EX hat on somebody, you can actually, or EX hat spin, you can run up duck, jump, and neutral jump punch, and it'll actually continue combos where you can do that for.
Okay. And then we mentioned earlier his just a common move, the teleport into the grab, can now combo on hit.
Yeah, so if you're jumping back and you hit a jump 2 on somebody, you can do that into a teleport, and then if you do that into the enhanced teleport, that'll actually combo, and then from there you'll be able to meter burn that. So you can actually do some kind of like hit confirm combos that you can do before.
Cool. Jax,
his back 2 is now more punishable. So his overhead's not as safe as it used to be before. His down 3 got changed to be -2 on block instead of neutral. Before, that's kind of normalized with the rest of the cast. And there's increased damage scaling on a couple of his special moves, the gotcha grab and the downwards dash punch.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to skip Sonya for now. We're going to come back to that, though. Let's go to Kitana.
Kitana, her down 3 is now 6 frames. You'll see across the board characters that did not have a 6 or 7 frame poke. Most of them now, not all, but most do. Either the down 1 or the down 3 got changed. In the EX Glaive in Mournful, it now has a little bit less advantage on block to prevent some really powerful traps that she had before. It's still advantage on block. It's just a little bit toned down. Her standing 4, the universal standing 4, is now pretty significant advantage on block. The move is still pretty slow, but now if they block it, she can kind of like go for a down 1 or another mix-up if they're going to keep blocking. And Assassin's got the most changes. Assassin got 2 big changes. The Sharpen now lasts longer, and the EX Sharpen startup is significantly faster. It's pretty noticeable.
You can actually use it inside of the
you can actually use it in combos, and going for it in like when you're actually fighting someone is a lot easier. And then her Assassin Strike, where she runs across the screen, the EX one, the armor now lasts almost the entire run. Before it was a little small window, so if she was going to go through like a projectile, she really had to go and do it like ahead of time. She had to guess that they were going to do projectile. Now it's much easier to just blow through projectiles with that armor.
A general change for a lot of the smaller characters is when they're ducking and duck blocking, they're like hurt region on them, like being able to block attacks, has been slightly increased. So Kitana and like Cassie and Scorpion, it'll make them harder to just duck and low profile some attacks that they were ducking before.
Awesome. What about Mileena? Let's talk about Mileena. What she got?
Wake up roll.
Yeah,
All right,
she's got
very good.
her back one too.
We took that away, actually.
Is now not as positive on block. I think it's -1 now.
Yeah.
And the hitbox was adjusted just a little, or the active frames of it was adjusted
The
a
active
little
frames
bit.
of the initial one is, I think it has 2 less active frames. So you can actually, if somebody's just machine gunning back 1 outside of like sweep range, you'll be able to whiff punish it on read.
The air size, actually the size across the board now recover faster on block, and they also have a bigger hitbox. So some of the issues when she was really close to you won't happen anymore. Where her arm would pass through you, that's not going to happen anymore. And in variation 2, the pounce has increased range by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also
you can-
faster how fast
yeah.
it comes out.
Yeah, you can pounce from a distance.
It's now truly
It's
a
pretty
pounce.
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. She absolutely just leaps at you.
The low grab is also faster in that variation, where so if she reads somebody ducking down, you can actually low grab and like it'll actually grab them out. Same thing where she's got some tick throws now, on like a down 3 into low grab, it'll actually tick throw if the guy stays ducking.
Thanks, Paulo.
And similar to her sister, her down 1 is faster, and it's now 6 frames.
There it is.
Cool. Moving on to Takeda.
Takeda didn't go through many changes.
He had a big change like the last.
Yeah, before.
So you'll notice that too. There's some characters who you did work with earlier,
Right.
who won't be getting as much this time around.
In variation 3, Ronin, his overhead is now a little bit slower. I think it's 15 frames now instead of 12. His down 1 is faster, just like the other characters mentioned, where before it was 8. I think it's 7 now.
Yeah.
His uppercut is a couple of frames
Yeah,
faster.
to make it easier to anti-air, just straight uppercut with them.
He's another character whose big leg attack, his big boot, forward 4, is now advantage on block. I think now it's more advantage on block. And probably the most interesting is in Ronin, the blade recall. When the blade goes up, on hit it's the same, but on block it will only hit 1 time. It will no longer break armor.
Yeah. And that'll make it consistent, where before there were some characters where it would hit twice on block, and there were some characters where sometimes it would hit once or twice on block, where now it'll just always be the same block. So you won't have to like sort of guess what your pressure is going to be afterwards.
Cool. And then you already touched on one of Sub-Zero's changes, which is the ice clone can be thrown downward now. And then showed off a little bit, but explain the change with the ice aura as well.
We're actually going to go into a match.
Oh.
let's do.
I'm relaxed. I'm gonna step back.
I'm done.
Let's do a Sub-Zero. And how about my boy Kano? And then we're going to the second level on that, but it's okay. And you picked Skyjump. Good.
That's the one you wanted, right?
That was when you wanted.
Yeah, that's exactly what I asked. What can we say about Sub-Zero nowadays?
Well,
He's still blue.
he now has a special property when his aura is active that his EX slide will freeze you in the air. That works for EX aura. Anytime he has aura up, he will then lose the aura because he's using the collected ice energies of the aura to cause the freeze.
Passing it on to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But then he gets a combo. So that's pretty good, because that means his defense is already stronger when using the aura, and now if they go for any kind of projectile or zoning at all, or if they're trying to pressure him, he now gets pretty good reward for it.
Yeah, same thing on Wake Up also.
Yeah, and that's now a much better wake-up attack, and pretty much, it's also a really fast move. You can actually use it for punishing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Kano.
Kano got a lot of interesting changes.
Airball.
Airball is now
overhead.
Overhead. It's now the best mix-up in the game.
Yeah, so from like certain distances, you can get it where it'll not do the ball part and then do the low, or and then also if you can do your inputs fast enough, you can actually do instant air balls as a quick overhead like surprise on people.
How much money did Tyler give you for all these changes?
Probably none.
None money.
None money.
None money was
None
given.
money.
The choke hit advantage is now a little bit better. Before, after you would do,
Commando.
yeah. Yeah.
See, look at Tyler.
Jumping ahead.
That's good. That's good.
The hit and block advantage on the knife slice is a little bit better. It's actually -6 now on block. So it's pretty hard to punish it. There's only a couple of X-rays that'll actually punish it. So you can sort of end your strings in that move. You'll be negative and they'll be able to hit you, but then you'll be able to sort of do some block damage and then sort of like play your game. Kano's got a really good backdash, so that also plays in with his. You can sort of end your strings into that and then like backdash until you try to punish, and then you can punish the whiff recovery on whatever you try to hit you with.
Yeah, I think that knife move, kind of in the mid-range game, will really complement his footsie's game, which is like the kind of the mid-range back and forth. It's just a great long-range move. The EX1 is still punishable. It's just the regular.
Yeah. The EX1 is still the same release combos.
The back one hitbox in Cutthroat is adjusted a little bit too. The range is still not the greatest, but he goes for it a little bit more when he does it. So you can use it more as an overhead.
Cool.
Yeah, it's still got short range, but it'll usually generally hit when you think it was gonna hit.
Cybernetic got a change that I really like too. We're moving on to Cybernetic, obviously. The up laser, anti-air up laser, is now faster.
Yes, and that's something you've been using against Derek.
Yeah. You can actually, it's tough to do on read, but you kind of can. You can drop teleports down and use that pretty easily.
Oh, another change universal is the up ball will now hit on the first active frame. So that should be much better for punishing. Whereas before, even though it was, a 7-frame move?
Yeah, it actually was 7 frames, but he didn't move forward right away.
Right.
So it wasn't actually like hitting people, especially on like block recovery on 7 frames. Well, now it'll actually move faster and it'll actually connect on the 7th frame. So you can actually use it to like punish a lot of strings and stuff that wasn't before.
Stuff that Tyler just doesn't do.
Yeah.
And then we have some pretty interesting
You do
changes.
3 things with Mileena.
You
in
stay out of
Commando.
this. It's not
Commando
about us.
got a new string. It is 2/2.
It's an advancing screen.
It's a
too.
really good advancing string. And he got another new extension, back 1/3, 1+3, where he can actually do his back 1/3 and then go into the grab. And just like 3/2, he can meter burn it and get a combo. And he's one of the characters that benefits from the command grab changes, because now his tick throws are even more deadlier if he uses the EX grab, because on block there'll be a tick throw, on hit there'll be a combo.
Yep. That's good for Kano, yeah?
Yep.
Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage, I think we can just talk about.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage, his down 4, the block stun is the block disadvantage is a little bit more. It's a little bit more negative. It's not like punishable now, but it's a little bit. He can't machine gun it quite as much. But what's good for him is his down 3 is one of them that was changed to be a little bit faster. So now he has a 7th frame down 3.
And his down 4 is already pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely still a really good move.
Yeah.
You can take a splash like.
His jump 2 also was adjusted a little bit to hit a little bit more consistently against crouching characters. There were a couple of characters that had their jump 1s and jump 2s adjusted like that. And then there are a few changes for fisticuffs, which are pretty cool. The speed bag move, the back one, has a little bit faster startup. And then once the speed bag is active, it activates a little bit faster. And then once you actually have it going, it does 2 things. His throw becomes the 17% Red Shadows throw that he has, where he punches you a bunch. And then all the hits of the speed bag now do more damage. They do 3 instead of 2.
Yeah, and
so,
also more chip damage.
Right. So he can actually get some really good meterless damage with the speed bag combo when he has that buff active.
Awesome.
And if they're choosing to block because they're afraid, you do a 17% throw.
There you go. That's not too bad.
Cassie Cage.
Cassie, her flip kick is 1 frame slower.
Oh gosh.
Does that qualify as ruined, or
Yeah, that move is now.
qualifies exactly?
Put her in the dumpster, folks.
I will check the stream chat to see what they think of 1 frame.
Yes, that 1 frame. Before she could punish some moves with a full combo that other people couldn't, and that's now been slightly normalized. It's now actually still probably the fastest combo starter in the game, but the EX one also lost its armor. It's
Hold
now.
on, 1 second.
What?
One guy just wrote, more like fisted buffs.
Oh, that was good. I
Cool.
mean, like puns.
I'll continue on the Twitch chat. You guys go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, the EX flip kick no longer has armor. It's still safe. It's still, really, really fast.
Yeah, so it's more generally you can use it to end your strings, and sort of like if you're going for a higher low, you can just automatically do the expert click and be safe on block to get away. It's not really meant to be used as a just armored like 7 frame launcher.
Okay, so stream chat ruined, totally ruined, blank ruined. Sonya is ruined. That's not even the right character.
Yeah, that's
So there we go.
Well, maybe it offends her mother.
Maybe
It's so deep, her
Maybe
family's
that's a fortune
offended.
teller also.
that could be. It could be.
The other thing about the Nut Punch is the Nut Punch hit advantage no longer varies based on height.
Yeah.
Before, the higher up you were, the more advantage Cassie has, and that's no longer the case. And
In the brawler variation, she has enhanced versions of her grabs, which just do more damage, but those will also connect on hit inside of combos.
and they have armor.
Yeah, and they have armor now. Yeah.
Cool.
So she lost one of her armor, but Brawler gained
Two.
2 more armor.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the input for her back 2 was changed, where the last part is 2+4 instead of 1+2.
Yeah, that should make it a little easier to do on pad, and also make it where if you're mashing really fast, you won't get interactables.
Good. Awesome.
People ask for that. That's great.
Yeah.
Jacqui Briggs.
Jacqui had a really, really good change where her back forward 2, just the regular one, is now less punishable. I think it's only slightly negative now.
Yeah.
And then the really big thing is the EX one is now basically safe. They both have a little bit more pushback, and they're both less negative, so that gives her a much better armored move. She now can wake up with a mid that does a pretty decent amount of damage, and it's safe. And in the neutral game, she can use that and be safer too, and you get pushed back.
Yeah, and similar to Kenshi, she had a lot of like hitbox changes on a lot of her attacks, and she had a lot of hit advantage frames on a bunch of her attacks that, and then because of that, that'll lead to her being able to continue pressure on people, and it also leads to slightly easier combos to do in high tech.
Yeah.
With like the run cancels, you'll be able to do a lot of her strings into run cancels and continue the combos easier now because she's more hit advantage after a lot of her attacks.
And there's also increased hit advantage on the straight shotgun. Before, she basically got no hit advantage at all. Now she can kind of go in for a mix-up.
Yep.
She's not guaranteed like a huge mix-up, but now it's a little bit more for her to work with. And her 2-3 string, the last hit, is now a low.
Nice.
Okay, that's cool.
Moving right along.
Kung Jin just has one change. His big leg is now more advantage on block. His forward 4. That's really it.
He's had a couple of small frame changes on some of his strings. There were a couple of strings that were +2 that are +1 now or neutral. But then a few hitbox fixes where some things would miss ducking points, but those have been fixed also.
All right, Tanya.
All right, Tanya. Across the board, we'll start with Kobujitsu. Kobujitsu, the EX Rekka, the armor has been removed. She no longer has armor, leading into more mix-ups. And the EX Tonfatos is now neutral on block. It no longer guarantees more block strings. Just you can't like loop it over and over again. Her back one is also slower by 1 or 2 frames.
Yeah, I think it's 11 now instead of 10 on the back one.
And but the good news is in Dragon Nana, a couple of moves do more damage. Her big upward one and her medium big poke that goes across the screen, those do a little bit more damage. And then Pyromancer, her 5-0 recovery has been decreased quite a bit.
Yeah. So Tanya generally changes this. Generally, the gameplay stays the same. It's just some things have been like normalized to sort of work with like within like the strengths of all the other characters. She's you won't just be able to do Rekka now as both like an armored move to go against pokes. You can more use it now to like stagger your strings instead of, and you have to use her other armored moves.
And then hopefully, I think it'd be cool if the Tanya players started exploring the other 2 variations more now. And yeah.
What we got next, Derek?
I think we should do a Sonya Scorpion match since I blew the cover on Scorpion. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine.
Is it?
I'm okay with it.
All right. Sound a little moody.
I'm moody.
Well, while it's loading, I guess you can talk a little bit about Sonya's grenades, because they've gone through a lot of changes.
Yeah, the grenades before they would actually bounce in the ground, and they would use like physics, and then with the new rollback online code, the grenades just sort of go and then they hit the ground and they stay there because just in general the way those were coded wasn't really rollback friendly. So that move's been reworked a little bit, but like frame wise, it behaves exactly the same as it did before. Same thing with hitbox and stuff. So in general, all the combos you could do before are still there, and there's actually a few new ones you can do with the enhance the reload because they hit more consistently now instead of bouncing around. There's new combos you can do, and they're always work the same.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
Her reload, when she reloads grenades, she grabs the grenades 5 frames faster than she did before. The recovery in the thing overall is the same, but that'll let you sort of just reload grenades at will. And even if you do get punished for it, you'll have grenades then. When then on wake up, you got the wake up grenade roll, and then it'll give you grenades. So that'll just having grenades makes her a much more dangerous opponent.
Which means doing a reload, knowing you're probably going to get punished, but you're going to have the grenades, is a very valid strategy that I use all the time. There was also a problem in the beta that it's worth mentioning where her EX reload would always shoot 3 no matter what. That's been fixed. That was not like an intended balance change. That's something that is going to go back to the way it used to be.
Yeah, there were a few of those, like the Hellfire Scorpion. He was actually able to do 2 auras in one combo. There were a lot of those small little bugs in the beta that were just there because a lot of the characters were being reworked for the rollback online code.
Also, the scaling on her grenades has been increased. There were some of the really good players found some awesome stun grenade combos with using multiple stun grenades, and now those will now do significantly less damage.
Yeah, but all the combos still generally work, and they're the same. There's actually new ones you can do.
So Scar's not going to be too upset by this.
I don't think he'll be too upset. As a Sonya player myself, I'm really happy with
No
her.
longer does 80%.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's going to have to settle for a little bit less.
75.
Yeah.
All right. Very good.
Scorpion.
Scorpion and Ninjutsu went through a lot of changes. This 4-2, this second hit.
Will you turn Paulo on, please?
Second hit is now an overhead, so it's now unblockable.
Yeah, and they'll let you mix up like the takedown, which is still like not safe on block. So a lot of times you just do that, and you can like sort of leaves them a little bit more of a mix-up, but it's still like something you can only do at certain ranges and end up close. It's not the fastest move, so it just gives them a little bit more options, and it makes Ninjutsu a little bit more dangerous than it was before.
Yeah, I love the second hit being an overhead.
Yeah, it's one of those things where every top player claims, I'll never get hit by that, and they'll 100% be hit by it in pools.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And the nice thing about takedown is the hit advantage has been increased greatly. Before, Scorpion actually recovered after the opponent when a takedown hits. That's no longer the case. You can see how quickly Paulo was able to jump over her after it. That wasn't possible before. Scorpion actually had to block some people's wake attacks, but that's not going to happen now. And he can also special cancel the second hit of his sweep in Ninjutsu. It's one of the only sweeps in the game that's 2 hits, and he can actually go into a special move when it hits. Which before, he basically breaks the rules of the game now.
Isn't that what he always does?
Yeah, I guess he's known to do that. And then his 2-1-4 now has advantage on block,
But
it has a gap in it.
there you go.
So, a lot of people, when the game first came out, really liked the pressure and hellfire he could do with the run cancels. That's kind of back, but it's a little bit more balanced than it was before because you have to guess. His 1-1 and his 2-1 also have a little bit more advantage on block.
Yeah, he's had a few frame changes, some of the other moves, so that'll also let you do some kind of different fireball like run cancel pressure that you can do before. His attack 3 is a little bit faster on startup, so you can actually use it as sort of like a little bit of an anti-air and just like a general whip punish. So it's pretty fast. It does more damage than normal jab would, and you can just sort of poke it out there and cancel it and stuff.
Cool. I just saw on stream chat someone says they have to go. Where's Erron Black? So let's just do it right now.
Okay,
Is it
okay.
Sonic Fox?
No, this is not.
Okay.
This is fan service right now.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you can look at the patch notes later and see if this guy.
Yeah. Now he
Who do you want him to fight?
let's do anybody really. So, somebody. I don't mind.
What? Maybe a new character?
Let's do
Sure.
Super Tour.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
the new Ferra.
So, the really cool thing about Erron Black is his command grab has really been changed. Can you kind of talk about what you were going for with this command grab? Because there's a few things better about it.
Yeah, it actually reaches a little further than it did before, and the startup on it's faster. So you can just spring it out there and get on people. So it works as more of like an actual long-range tackle, as opposed to just something you were just mixing up in the middle of your strings where somebody had to guess whether or not they were going to jump to poke out of it. So you can sort of do it almost at like round start range. So that will generally make opponents be ducking at range, and then they'll let you go for his overhead and stuff. It just makes them a little bit of different plane than it did before.
How much further does it go now? Would you say? Was it?
Like it'll hit. It'll hit here.
10%? I guess so, yeah. It's something where it'll hit around start, but before it would have.
Right.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Like you knew.
And the advantage on hit is a little bit better, and it's a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And his EX Sand Grenade is now slightly less advantage on block than it was in the regular X, but more than it was in the beta. A lot of Erron Black players were really upset in the beta when it went way, way down, and it's now kind of a happy medium to where it was
it was
before.
actually something where it was like in progress in a lot of these changes.
Right.
With a lot of these characters where at different points in the beta, they were just at different points in their balance passes over the last probably 5 months since we've done like a full balance pass in the game.
Another thing is he has a faster down one. He's one of those characters that had an 8-frame down one before. Now it's 7. That'll help a little bit more. And then similar to Jacqui, the hit advantage on some of his normal attacks has been increased a little bit, and that'll make marksman cancels a little bit easier.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that actually makes them quite a bit easier. With a lot of like he actually probably had some of the hardest like rank cancel combos. Where now it's pretty much on par with the other characters.
Cool. Torr.
Torr has a couple of new moves. Ruthless and Vicious have EX versions of the low girl toss and the overhead girl toss, and they pop up for combo. The downside to them is they're very negative on block. They're like pretty much full combo punishable if you do them up close. But they're really good from full range and up close if you want to take a risk and use them.
So even on whip also they'll be negative on block. So something there where you can actually like punish that if they go for it. So it's not something you can just do in the middle of your string. You just have to know if you're going to correctly punish something with those. Same thing with the low. It's something you can't just throw out there, but it gives them some new combos that he couldn't do before.
And in Vicious, the boss toss now has an EX version that reaches the entire screen and does really good damage.
That's awesome. Thrower.
Can we see that?
Yes, for
I
sure.
really want to see that.
It's more of a launch at this point.
I think you had told me that, but I'd forgotten. So
Yeah,
this is cool.
it's awesome.
What do you think about going back to Fair Tour now?
Yeah, Torr Jason is sort of my thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So that's regular.
So the normal one goes about the same distance it did before, but then like full screen, the enhanced version,
There we go.
and it does a little bit more damage too.
That's awesome.
The active frames of the overhead toss have been adjusted a little bit to not hit as low.
Yeah, so if you were doing a string on block into this thing, and they did a backdash, like try to get out of this, see if you can get it back.
There.
It would actually, she was actually active while she was on the ground, so it would actually make it where you couldn't backdash that move. So now you can read a backdash a lot of the strings into that move, and you'll actually be able to like whiff punish them for just throwing her out there.
Cool.
And then Lackey has some pretty cool changes too. The roll is now a much better move. The roll will now combo and hit and is much harder to punish. It's still punishable if they block it absolutely point blank, but from further range it's less punishable, and he can get some combos with it.
Yeah, so in general, if you ever hit somebody with trouble, you can get a down one, because he's got one of the faster, longer reaching down ones in the game.
However, the down one without Ferra is now slightly more negative on block.
Yeah, he's had a few frame changes here and there for a lot of his strings, but he's still one of the better like pressure heavy characters in the game. But like his down one was like I believe it was +2 on block retail.
It was something crazy, and now it's a little bit more normalized. Still has great range, it's still super fast. And he cannot use 4-2 twice in the same combo.
Yeah, that was something that at some point you were able to like double cancel these, where now it's back to where it was in release, where you can't do combos with 2 of these in one combo. But because of like some of his other frame changes, they're like, especially with the roll, you can do newer combos now, which is it'll vary out the combos a little bit, and it'll also make it where you just can't do that move twice in one combo.
Cool. To Predator.
Predator's got a few changes. In Hishka 10, the lasers do slightly less damage across the board. I think every laser attack, right?
Yeah, every laser attack either does 1 or 2 less damage.
And some of his cancels into the laser are now slightly less positive, so he doesn't get some guaranteed block strings that he used to get. The cool thing, though, is in Warrior, the back fist, the back forward 1 back fist is now significantly faster, both regular and EX.
Yeah, it'll give Warrior like an actual like Wake Up you can use just because like one of his things is there are a lot of characters like Jax that are just build a poke out of a lot of his Wake Ups, but like if you play Warrior you can now use the backhand to like Wake Up.
Yeah, it really kind of fills a hole in Predator's overall gameplay and makes you want to use that variation. And the self-destruct move has a little bit starter fast up, or a little bit faster, a little bit faster
Starter fast up.
There'll be some different setups you can do. You can end combos with it where you'll actually be able to get it off safely and then be able to run in and then use the explosion as pressure on block. Or if it hits, then you get a big combo out of it.
Cool. And shinnok?
Lord Shinnok now has the same change that Kenshi did with his teleport. An imposter, he can choose to go for a jump in punch or jump in kick by holding forward. And the bone hands on the unblockable where the hand splats you, that is now faster startup and more importantly, faster recovery. He now recovers, he comes out of it much, much faster. He can go for like another one or go for a mix-up or try to catch them trying to jump out or something like that.
Is it like GGA Jeremiah like spam?
Yeah, like basically Jeremiah would absolutely body Cat using this squash thing.
Cool.
Praise Lord Shinnok. Moving on.
Liu Kang.
Oh, and his uppercut is now high instead of a mid.
That's not on the page.
Okay.
Does that qualify as ruined?
Yeah,
Yes.
that he's... Yeah, all the Shinnok players are going to have to switch to Leatherface now. Like, he's done.
Alright, Liu Kang.
Liu Kang just got a few. In Duelist, the damage buff where you can charge up, it no longer goes away on hit. It actually, no matter how much he's hit, it gets to go through the whole timer. And the meter burn bite kick, or flying kick, I mean, in Variation 2 has decreased block advantage by just a little bit. I think it's neutral now instead of plus.
Alright.
Cool. Ermac.
His forward 4-3 is overhead. It does decent damage. It's now safe. It used to be full combo punishable. So now he has a safe option that's he's not going to get like a huge combo off of it, but he can choose to either cancel into a special move and take a risk, or just go for the safe option, which will really help him out. His 4-3-4, there was a thing in the beta where it was a block infinite for briefly if you didn't have meter in the corner. That's now fixed.
That wasn't part of the plan.
That was actually not part of his balance updates.
What? Ruined.
His back 2 charge, when he charges it up, is now a little bit more advantage on block on each of the different levels of how it can be charged up.
Yeah, so a lot of times where you'll knock somebody down and you'll be doing that where they're blocking on a wake up, and if you actually get to like the full charge version, he'll be a great advantage on block.
The back 1 is now faster, but it's been made a high. But it is significantly faster.
Yeah, and it'll even be even a better anti-air move that he can use to then really be able to confirm it as some of his bigger combos.
Yeah, and he even has newer combos because of this back 1 being faster. And then what's really cool for Spectral players, well actually all players, is the flight command has changed.
Yeah, it's down a block now, so it'll be little bit easier to do inside of strings. You'll be able to hit confirm some combos into flight and then into hits and then into teleporting and other stuff.
Some swaggy stuff.
Yeah, some swaggy stuff.
And lastly in Mystic, the push and the EX push are much safer.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's big.
Yeah, that'll definitely help in this mid-range game keeping people out. You don't have to worry that you're going to get blown up if they block it.
So, drop some knowledge on Kotal Khan.
Kotal Khan only has a few. He's one of the many characters where his 4-4 big boot, his big leg has more block advantage. His jump 1 hitbox has been adjusted a little bit. It'll be a little bit easier to anti-air him. And then probably the big one is a lot of people have talked about how Kotal Khan has a lot of trouble against the Ice Clone. Well, the Sundial now will break the Ice Clone.
Take that, Ice Clone!
Or go through it. No, it goes through it. Sorry, it goes through the Ice Clone.
Yeah, he's throwing a big ass disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's probably hot.
Yeah, it is. It's because it's sun.
Cuts
It's
right
got
through
sun
it.
energy.
Cuts right through it. Awesome. And,
Yeah, so not a lot of change for him, but he's one of those characters where, like, Sun God will get inherently better because of the changes to command grabs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so
and Kotal's pretty good.
Yeah,
anyway.
Kotal's already really
Yeah,
good.
there's like a little bit of gameplay where in Sun God you can do some of his strings like the 1-1-4, and if you had meter, you could do something like back 1 and try to do a tick throw, and then if the back 1 hits, the enhanced command grab will actually connect now. And then because the command grab connected, you got some meter, and then you can use that meter into canceling into getting some life back. And then because your advantage, you can then go into a back 1, and then it becomes a command grab mix up again. So there'll be a little bit of general gameplay changes where you'll be able to do a lot more mind games against people.
You lost me a long time ago. And Reptile?
Reptile, like Kotal, is already...
It's pretty solid.
yeah, he's pretty solid, but Variation 1, the EX Invisibility has slightly more block recovery.
Cool.
And the Variation 2, the speed up move where he slows down time has faster startup. So you can do new combos with it. It's a little bit safer to go into activation of it. It's overall just a little bit better. That's really it for him.
Great.
Devora, now there is faster start on the EX Ovipositor Strike. That was one of her key weaknesses was her only armored move is the Ovipositor Strike, and it had very slow startup. So a lot of characters like Jax, even Kotal, could stuff it before she could even get it out.
Yeah, but it's still something where the armor's only there up until the active frames. So it's something where you can read her, wake up, and still jump up and do a neutral jump punch and then beat her with that, or jump over her for full combo.
It's also a little bit easier to punish on block.
Yeah.
So, armor is still going to be one of her key weaknesses, but it's a little bit better for her. But the good news for her is the Variation 1, the Broodmother, there's faster cooldown on the Crawler. And her back 3 big leg is a high and it's slower, but it's now significantly advantage on block.
Awesome. Getting close to the end here. Raiden.
Lord Raiden. He's yet another character where his 4/4 big leg has more block advantage. His back 1/1, which is one of his fastest mids, it had kind of issues before where it would whiff against crouch blocking smaller characters. That's no longer the case. It's now a little bit lower to the ground. It has a better hitbox. In Variation 2, his forward 1-2, back 2 no longer has a gap. That was a move he got in a patch quite a while ago, but it had a gap.
In Master of Storms, the lightning traps stay out a lot longer than they did before. So a lot of times you'll be able to leave a lightning trap, and then later on you'll be able to do a setup into it where it's essentially, I think it's double now.
Yeah, it's really noticeable. That those traps are, I think, 10 seconds. It's something like that. They're really good now.
Great. I hope to see some more people playing the.
I've played PPJs.
Yeah,
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really it angers me.
Yeah. Quan Chi. Quan Chi has a couple of buffs, as always. Faster startup.
Can't be a patch real quick.
Right. Quan Chi has been significantly buffed.
Oh my days.
Faster startup on EX Skydrop. Like Devora, he now doesn't have the best armor in the game, but it's a little bit better than what it was.
Yeah.
It's like a 0 out of 10 armor to like a 2 out of 10 armor. He also has less block advantage on EX Rune, but it can be delayed. So the idea, I guess you can explain.
Yeah,
what you're
it
going
is.
for.
You can end your strings into that, and if you wait a couple frames, you can actually make it safe by delaying it instead of just mashing it out. But if you wait even longer, where the player thinks you're not going to delay it, and then if you do it, then you actually be plus on block like you was before. But if the person anticipated you were going to do that, they'd be able to backdash or armor through it. So it's a little bit more of a guessing game, and instead of like fully in his advantage, but he still has it's still a really good tool he can use.
Yeah, and there is a sweet spot where he can get just the right timing to where you have to block it. There's no gap, but he's still slightly advantage.
Yeah.
Or he can, like you said, he can go up straight to being plus 14 like he was before. That's the longest delay.
Yeah, and it's something where if it's near the round ender and you're looking to just chip somebody out, he still has the enhanced skull, which is still the old block advantage. So you can use that with strings and then repeat it.
There's also less hit advantage on a trance. When he hits the trance, Quan Chi takes a little bit more time before he can do something. So
yeah, and because of that, it will make it where if you choose to summon a bat when the trance is out, you won't be able to continue your combo afterwards. But you will be able to do something like do a bat instantly and then like jail them with the down 1, and then they'll force the block and then send a bat. So it'll make like the combos won't be as big with summoner, but you'll be able to just do different things. Where now you can just end your combos into a knockdown with I think it's a 2-3-1 is the combo that knocks the guy back down, and you can do that into like summon a bat where the guy won't be able to punish you and wake up with a bat, and then you have a bat. So it'll change up your combos a little bit in your general gameplay, and it'll make it where it won't be as frustrating for the victims to just be always have this bat in your face.
now Sorcerer, getting out the armored portal spell takes a little bit longer, and there's a change where it no longer, before there was a thing where the armor would refresh if he left and then went back in.
Yeah, and now the armor is just on a straight cooldown, and that cooldown is actually I think a couple frames faster than it was before. But it'll make it where if you take armor when you're in the armor thing, you're just on a cooldown with it, no matter whether you leave it or not.
Cool. And the purple spell, it will now actually drain meter on block as well. Before, all of his special moves got buffed when he's standing in the purple portal. Now, only if it hit. Like if I hit you, it drained your meter. Now it drains meter on block, and that includes the trance. The trance will actually drain meter on hit.
Yeah, and it's actually that one and also the red ruin is also a lot faster to activate. And there are combos you can do with trance into summon a purple ruin, continue to combo, and then be drained in the guy's meter while you're doing a combo. So we'll have some combos that will actually leave the person at less super meter than when you started it.
I personally cannot wait to see a Sorcerer Quan Chi player with that purple rune. I think it's going to be super trolly and awesome in tournament.
Awesome.
Goro.
Lord Goro.
Prince.
Goro doesn't have a lot of improvements, but it's a big improvement if you play Goro. The big thing is his walk speed and his run speed has been noticeably increased.
Yeah, so it'll let him be able to get in a little quicker, and just general. And then once you're within like 3/3 of the screen, you just punch walk.
Yeah, and I think that's good for Goro because Goro was a character that already had some really good tools. It's just his mobility was so limited, and now it's just enough better that I think Goro players will be quite happy. And I think he's the last guy where his big leg, and he's like the king of big legs.
He's got the biggest.
Yeah, that now has more block advantage.
Cool. And the rock star, Tremor.
Tremor's up rock.
Rockstar, I get
See what I
it.
did?
Oh, it took me a second.
That's because you're looking at your phone.
I'm watching the stream chat.
Tremor's up rock now has a little bit more recovery for him.
Yeah, essentially when you throw the rock up, it'll actually come down like 5 frames faster, or 5 frames slower than it did before, and then after it hits the ground, it's 10 frames more there. So you can't just spam up the up rock as much as it did before. It'll still be plus on block if somebody blocks it. So it's still not something that's like considered ruined, but it's just generally not as plus as it was before.
And in Crystalline, the EX down back 1 down, the low like shatter move, that is now -5 on block, I believe.
I believe it's actually -10. So you can actually.
What?
Ooh.
You just ruined
that-
somebody's day.
He's absolutely ruined. Oh, and Tremor reminds me of a universal change we forgot, which is with the ground pounds, the unblockables.
Yeah, a lot of the guaranteed setups where you can knock somebody down and then while they're on the ground be able to hit them with unblockable moves like the ground pounds or like the Goro stomp. Those moves will actually continue to combo scaling now. So if you finish a big combo that had like a decent amount of combo scaling on it, and then you hit them with the guaranteed ground pound with any of these characters, that ground pound will actually be combo scaled. But the thing you can do is delay it slightly, where as soon as they can do a backdash or a wake up attack that will have like canceled out your move. Then the damage scaling will actually be reset. Something where it'll be a little bit more fair for players on knockdown to not have to take like a 13% damage constantly. But he can just delay it a little bit, and then you have to guess to get out of it.
And that's all those style of moves, not just Tremor.
Cool.
All right, so that's some of the balance changes,
Yes.
right? I mean, there's still more to come, or to be shown.
Right.
These are I would say the major ones. There's
Yeah.
a little hitbox kind of stuff that the really hardcore guys can.
Yeah, there'll still be a lot of quality life stuff and
Yeah.
some frame stuff that you guys will be super into that we didn't go through. Those patch notes will be posted early next week whenever we kind of get together and get them all done. So that's it for patch notes.
Lord Paulo has spoken.